Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We got some news about what Putin said regarding the war in Ukraine, regarding any peace talks, and what's going to be how the war would continue. And the news are not very good for the other side of Putin. This article comes from Reuters from today, July 7th, 2022, and this is the title. Putin says Russia is just starting in Ukraine. Peace talks will get harder with time. Of course, will get harder with time because the Russians, in case Russia advances, and you don't when you're winning, you always get the upper hand, and the distance becomes bigger, greater, and greater between the two people involved in the dispute. So the better at the beginning when they had things unsolved yet, like I don't know who's winning or who's advancing, that would have been a good time to say, okay, let's talk. But no, they didn't want to talk then. They said, oh, well, because other people in the background told them, no, 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 no. Now Russia got everything they wanted, almost. And where's going to go from here? So from now on, what do you think you're going to dictate? Or you're not going to be able to negotiate from a position of power whatsoever. As the time passes and the Russia advances more, you're going to lose more power that you had at the beginning of the war. So, President Vladimir Putin said on Thursday that Russia had barely got started in Ukraine and dared the West to try to defeat it on the battlefield. What's wrong with while insisting that Moscow was still open to the idea of peace talks. So Putin dares the West to defeat it on the battlefield. So in a hawkish speech to parliamentary leaders more than 4 months into the war, Putin said the prospects for any negotiation would grow dimmer the longer the conflict dragged on. That's logical. We all knew. Only the people below with IQ below 86, the baboons, those were, oh, no, 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 no. Maybe we're going to negotiate a good peace treaty when we are at the border with Poland. And we have, oh, that's the border over here. Hey, peace. You have nothing then. You just do like this or blow, just fall into Poland. Let's see what President Putin actually said, the translation, obviously. And I'm quoting, today we hear that they want to defeat us on the battlefield. What can you say? Let them try, he said. And I'm quoting again, we have heard many times that the West wants to fight us to the last Ukrainian. This is a tragedy for the Ukrainian people, but it seems that everything is heading towards this. Yeah, so if you don't start, we're going to continue until we what? So obviously Russia will not ask for peace unless you ask. And if you don't ask, these are guys that are eager to go, willing to, maybe not eager, but willing to go all the way. So better the sponsors, now that Boris Johnson and Liz Truss might be gone in the future, even though from what I read, the whole process could take weeks or months to get rid of these guys, especially Johnson and so on. And I suspect it was not the Conservative Party who did not like Johnson anymore and so on because of some drinks that he had with some ladies of the night in the pandemic. I think the problem is Ukraine. We'll see it after Biden, I was to say. He's gone for a long time. Biden is not there anyway. But Boris Johnson is gone if the Great Britain will change course. I expect yes, because they did almost everything they not everything because would be more weapons, but they were the most involved in all this and the pressure and the sponsor and all that. So I wonder, what is too much cocaine or something? Jesus Christ. My nose itches and anyway, so unbelievable. Nevertheless, this is an example of people supporting something and destroying or damaging the economic system. So if you damage the economic system, the interest over there, they will come and get you. Why? Because after all, they sponsor you, not the people. people do it over there, and they do what they have to do. But behind the scenes is the money that you have, uh, you know, donated by campaign donation. So let's see what's further here. Russia accuses the West of waging a proxy war against it by hammering its economy with sanctions and stepping up the supply of advanced weapons to Ukraine. But while boasting that Russia was just getting into its stride, Putin also referred to the possibility of negotiations. And I'm quoting, everyone should know that by and large, we haven't started anything yet in earnest, he added. At the same time, we don't reject peace talks, but those who reject them should know that the further it goes, the harder it will be for them to negotiate with us. I would say that those reasons are very clear. So it says here that Putin said it was obvious that Western sanctions were creating difficulties, but not at all what the initiators of the economic blitzkrieg against Russia were counting on. I think the numbers are speaking for themselves. That is, Russia is not as what they thought it would be. They thought in 48 hours the ruble will be down and Russian economy will just go spiraling down. And instead, those guys don't have it. The prices skyrocketed. The inflation was there anyway, but it's going to get even worse. And guess what? I got some bad news for you guys. Winter is coming. And winter needs heating inside the house. How are you going to do it? With wood? And go and collect some now. Still got time. Nevertheless, it's not funny, but how can you do? I mean, the only thing you can do is just ridicule it and have fun about it because you can't change anything anyway. What can you do? Go over there and demand that stop like the Germans did, stop our country's association with Ukraine until the economic system moves. The politicians will continue doing what they're doing. And there are some big donors over there that make historical profits in these times. So I don't think anything's gonna change too soon. I'm waiting for Great Britain. On the other hand, I'm thinking that Boris Johnson, still having those last weeks or months in there, he would probably throw everything he's got in this Ukraine support, everything he can. Because I don't think these guys over there, I'm talking about these actors coming from the TV and they have all kind of titles, prime ministers, presidents, all that. They really have the full power of what's going on. I'm telling you why. Because let's say I'm the president and I give an order. I say, okay, I want you to go and attack that country. All right. There's going to be a person or some persons, they're going to hear that and okay, yes. And they will not do it. What are you going to do? Who are you going to talk to make them do it? All right, let's say this guy said, yeah, we're going to do it. And they go and tell the other guys below them, hey, you got to go and attack that. And what if those guys said, no? What are the guys on top do? Just dismiss them? What they say, I don't recognize your dismissal. You're dismissed. What are you going to do then? Are you going to talk below those guys? I mean, it's always like this when the presidents give orders or something and they don't do it. Look at Donald Trump, for instance, and the CIA and the FBI. He was talking with those guys and he was changing the guys on top, but nobody moved below. So nothing happened over there. When he said, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Even if the director of FBI, CIA, however you want to call them, they say, yes, yes, yes. And then when they bark their orders or to the guys up below, nothing happened. Everything got lost in space until Trump got out. It's another way of doing it. And besides, think, these presidents and prime ministers, they have personal security, right? They have Secret Service. Who commands them? Do you think the president? No, it's someone else behind those, and someone else behind those. So if they give an order, these guys are going to follow those guys' order, not the president's. I'm not going to go deeper into that, but maybe in a different, in another video, later. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.